All of us are broken people. We need healing. And all this month, we're looking at some of the tools that God uses to bring healing, setting us free. Dr. Rob Reimer is the author of Soul Care, 7 Transformational Principles for a Healthy Soul. Today, Rob, we're going to talk about family sin patterns and how we break them. I guess the first thing up is we have to admit that that can affect us from the past.
Yeah. Well, you know, of course, the Bible is clear about this. Sins of the parents can visit their children. I mean, just think about biblical patriarchs. Think about somebody like, Abraham. There's a sin in his family that's there. We all know about lying, and it follows down the family until you get to Jacob, where he's called the deceiver. It keeps getting worse. There's also favoritism in his family, which is totally toxic in his family. So everybody's family has sin. Truthfully, they're one of the hardest sin patterns to break, because we've seen them modeled, and you know what happens is it becomes normal to us. But when your normal is dysfunctional, it's still dysfunctional, and it's got to be broken. And in my family's case, there was a lot of sexual immorality.
Yeah, you went to your grandmother,
yeah,
and she said there's, on the family tree, there's some things that maybe we don't like to talk about, but in your case, you needed to because to break free.
Well, I knew I was struggling with lust, and honestly, right, you're a young guy, you get married, you want to walk with Jesus, I'm in ministry, and you think, well, when I get married, I won't struggle with lust anymore. And I'm still struggling with lust, and I went, I got to break free. And now I've realized I got to walk in the light with God and others, and so I went, I'm still not breaking in this. I got to figure out what's driving this. And I started thinking there's stuff in my family. So I sat down with my grandmother and talked to my grandmother about sex. We just got to know that's not normal in my family, all right? I mean, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
But again, when you follow Jesus, I think, you have to choose in for the principles of the kingdom. And the kingdom principle is we're going to walk in the light with God and others. So I went and talked to my grandmother, and I discovered some dark secrets in my family with regard to sexuality. And I doubled down on this battle for purity in my life.
How did you battle that, Rob? Because, okay, now you've got the information. There's these things that are in the family history that are not good. How did you approach it, and how did you get free?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things was I realized I can't have any secrets, none, 0 tolerance for secrets. So I ended up doing a total life confession. Like, I sat down with 2 people and told them everything I ever did in my life. And when one of them was somebody that had been, 10, 11 years older than me, and I just wanted him to pray through to break any strongholds off or any curses that might be there. And that guy, who was my friend Martin Sanders, he said to me, he goes, listen, he said, you're gonna finish well, because that was my fear. My fear was my family sins were gonna come back and I was gonna blow up my life. And if I did, I'm a minister, I'm gonna disgrace Jesus and the family far more than anyone else. And he said to me, you will finish well. I will walk with you, and you will overcome this. And the truth is, it's been now, Jen and I have been married almost 30 years. She's the only woman I've ever been with, and I've broken free from this stuff, but not without a battle.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about in our interview is that we have to be prepared to roll up the sleeves, because some of this stuff can get messy.
It's very messy. It's hard work. So I had to figure out what was driving it. That's part of the hard work. What's underneath your family sin patterns? You definitely need accountability. You definitely need to walk with that level of honesty. But I also had to break off some of the stuff that was underneath it. And in my case, some of what was under it was actually a masculine wound. It wasn't just about lust. It was trying to prove your manhood through lust.
I know we're just barely touching the surface on this, and in your great book, Soul Care, you deal with it a lot, and it's very, very important. And we don't have to be making up things. The Holy Spirit, He promises that He will lead us and guide us in these things. So thanks, Rob, and looking forward to the next segment. And here's how you can get your copy of Soul Care, 7 Transformational Principles for a Healthy Soul.